Thank you for joining me here today. I'm super excited to start talking to you about the Amazon and the adventure you're about to embark on. I know to most of you, I might just be a name in a mailbox or someone who's called you a few times asking for payments or applications, but I am a real person, so I just wanted to quickly go over who I am as I'll be talking to you for the next little bit. So my name's Alyssa, and I've been working at Weave for about 9 months now. Before that, I had worked at an airline for about 3 years, and it gave me the opportunity to get to travel to some really great parts of the world I never would have got to otherwise. I think it's really cool in my travels to travel as a local. So not only do I do the touristy things, like visit all the landmarks, I also like to try to get to know somebody from the local community and really get to have them take me around and see where everyone who lives there goes. And that way you get to experience as a traveler, not just a tourist. With that being said, I wanted to share with you a really inspirational quote I saw on my hostel wall in Iceland. It says, "To travel is to discover that everyone is wrong about other countries." And I want to share this with you guys because you are going to be the storytellers of the Amazon. You're going to get to the Amazon and really get to live like a local and experience that culture firsthand. So some of the stories people might have for you, you can be like, no, this is what it's actually like when you get there. And I think that's something really important. Okay, so enough about me. Let's get into your trip now. So you could have done anything with your summer, but you chose to go on a Me to We trip, and me and my team are super grateful. What makes Me to We trips different? Volunteerism. So it's a chance to volunteer on a sustainable build project with the community. So you work with those local community members to build a project that they need at the time. So this might mean that your build project doesn't start when you get there and it doesn't end when you leave, but just knowing that the work you're doing is so important and will continue on once you leave as well. You're going to get your chance to develop your voice as a leader. And this is going to be done through modules with your facilitators, mostly every night. Whether it's a passion you already have at home or something you see on the ground there, you're going to take that passion and turn it into action for when you get home. And to help you with that passion project, you are now part of the We family. So you have access to such an incredible network of people who are here to help and support you on your journey. Okay, so let's go to the Amazon. I'm going to quickly go over some more logistical pieces before you leave the ground and things you have to do before you take off on your plane. I believe most of you already have travel insurance, but it is very important for your trip as starting this year, it is mandatory for all travelers to have medical insurance when they enter Ecuador. So if you want to make sure you have that or connect with me and I can make sure you have it purchased and uploaded for us, I always suggest just printing out the wallet card size and putting it in your passport. That way when you reach customs in Ecuador, you have everything you need in one place. One of the most
Before packing for my first Me to We trip, I was super nervous and had no idea what I was doing. But now I've been to both Kenya and Ecuador, and I picked up a few tips along the way.
And then we can talk about that after.
Let's start with the basics. Number one thing to remember, whatever you bring, you will be carrying. This includes your travel pack. You can decide to purchase one or borrow one from a friend. You will carry this bag through the airport, onto buses, and to your accommodation. This means that suitcases are a no-no. You bring it, you have to carry it. Keep this mantra in mind, don't overpack. I can't stress this enough. But then, how do you make sure you have everything you need? Your packing list outlines all the essentials you need to bring. It varies by country, so make sure you use it as a checklist. Regardless of your destination, you want clothes that you don't mind getting dirty, that are comfortable, and that are culturally respectful. Quick dry is also key. And if the packing list says to bring long pants, bring long pants. You need those for the build site. A few clothing don'ts. No low-cut tees, no yoga pants, skinny jeans, or tank tops, and no shorts above the knee. Also, no hair dryers or hair straighteners. You may be taking a lot of photos, but it's not a fashion show. Before you start to pack, put your items for your carry-on off to the side. There is always the possibility that you will arrive in country and your checked luggage won't be there at the same time. You have all that you need laid out, so pack in sections. Keep what you'll wear on the plane to the side. For example, you can wear your runners, so you don't need to pack them. Ziploc bags make great dividers. And roll your clothes to save space. This makes it easy to find what you need and keeps yourself organized. This is my going home outfit and I pack it separately. You're going to get dirty on this trip. This ensures you have one clean outfit for the long plane ride home. Wherever you're headed, you've got everything packed to have the travel adventure of a lifetime. And who knows, you may even pick up some of your own packing tips along the way.
So Sophie did a great job letting you know some of her tips and tricks for packing, but I just want to highlight some of the more important ones. And that would be making sure you have volunteer clothing. Those are long pants and t-shirts that cover your chest and shoulders. This is mandatory for the build site, and this is for your safety. $200 USD spending money, and this is optional. This is just to purchase any trinkets or souvenirs, as well as any snacks at the airport or while you are in transit to your accommodations. As well as for the first day and your last day, you will be in Quito, which is at a higher altitude. So you want to make sure you're always sun safe wherever you go. So some sunscreen. As well, you're going to be in the Amazon, so you're going to need some bug spray. If you're going to bring bug spray and sunscreen, please make sure it is all biodegradable, as we want to make sure we are being respectful to the environment. Some packing don'ts. So the best way we show respect is by our appearance. And so we want to make sure we're always culturally appropriate. You're going to be entering into cultures that are quite different than you're used to back at home. So we just want to always make sure we're showing them respect. We're going to do this by not wearing leggings, yoga pants, or skinny jeans. No clothing with offensive logos. You're going to make sure that your shoulders and chest are always covered, and as well as shorts reach your knees. I know you may be thinking, I live in yoga pants and leggings, what am I supposed to wear? Use it as an opportunity to wear sweatpants all the time and live in them. As well as right now, I know linen sweatpants are quite popular, and you can find them at Forever 21 or a lot of local thrift stores. So that's where I always suggest people look first. So your flight itinerary is already on Portal, and I'm sure most of you have already seen it. You're gonna meet your New York City coordinator as well as a facilitator 4 hours before departure. I know this seems like a little bit of a long time, but you're gonna check in as a group, get to know each other, say goodbye to everybody, and then check in as a group, and that does take quite a little while. Your meeting spot, as well as the New York City staff members' phone number, will be emailed to you about a week before your trip, and so if you have any questions about that, you can email me. And I know it seems pretty obvious, but please bring your valid passport and proof of insurance. Double, triple check on your way to the airport that it's not your mom and dad or brother and sister's passport. Trust me, it's happened before. Okay, so let's get into your actual trip in the Amazon. I'm going to show you a video of what that might look like.
Traveling can transform someone's life.
I took this trip to Ecuador with Midawee so that I could get a different perspective and make a difference.
You can have somebody tell you about it, but to really be able to do it yourself creates an unforgettable experience.
The most rewarding part of the trip was definitely meeting the community and seeing their way of life and their expression of culture.
Being on the build site really inspired me to make a difference.
It was absolutely incredible to know that the stones and the bricks that we were laying were going to build the foundation for a child's future.
Everyone here, the facilitators, the group is just extremely supportive, and we all work as a team to accomplish one goal.
Midawee has safety at the total center of everything they do, and that made all the difference in the world as a parent.
We is about coming together and supporting others. It's a really, really powerful thing.
I found out what my strengths and my weaknesses were. I grew as a person.
As a parent, the best thing I've ever done for my child is to send her to see the world with Midawee.
Each and every one of us has made a difference.
I love that video, and I hope it got you even more pumped up to go on your trip. So you might be wondering who's going to join you on this trip. So you have a fly-in facilitator who will be meeting you at the airport, and they have extensive experience working with youth. They're thoroughly trained in emergency protocols, safety procedures, and first aid. They're super passionate and here for you. So that means at 2 a.m. or 2 p.m., no matter what you need, go to them. They've heard and seen everything, so don't be embarrassed about any questions or support you may need. So as well as your flying facilitator, you're going to have an in-country facilitator as well as expert guides. So these are anybody from your local culture tour guides to your jungle guides to your Midowi drivers, the staff at the Mingo Lodge. These are all highly trained, vetted Midowi staff who are here for you as well. So you might be wondering how you're going to get around to all of these amazing locations. So when you get to Quito, you're going to be hopping in a North American style coach bus. Each seat has a seatbelt as well as air conditioning, and the driver is a Midowi staff member. Also, when you get into the Amazon, you'll be traveling by something called a canoe. And don't worry, no, you're not going to have to paddle your way down the Napo River. A canoe in Ecuador is a motorized boat, something that you might be familiar with back home. So no work required to get to Mingo Lodge. Okay, so you take your journey into Ecuador and you land in the capital of Quito. So we're going to talk about your first day and what you'll be doing in Quito. So you're going to land and go to your first accommodations. And this is such a great place to rest and relax and rejuvenate for the busy days ahead of you. This is just a typical example of a hotel in Quito. The rooms are separated by gender and generally sleep around 2 to 4 people. So once you're all rested from your travel day, you're going to get to really immerse yourself in the culture of Quito and in Ecuador in general. So you're going to go around the old city of Quito, which is actually a World UNESCO Heritage Site. You're going to go around with your facilitator and cultural guides and really ask them questions, get to know them. They love answering questions about the history and why things are built the way they are in Quito, and this is what they're here for. Another really cool activity you'll be doing in Quito, and possibly a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for a lot of people, is you're going to get to visit the middle of the earth, so the equator. I'm not going to give too much away because it's such a cool experience, but you're going to do really cool experiments and kind of see how the equator affects your body and the environment around you and how people use that to their advantage. Okay, so you spend your day in Quito, you rest up, and then you're off to the Amazon. And I just want to let you guys know that this is a photo that one of our facilitators actually took, just how breathtaking your journey from Quito along the Napo River to Mingo Lodge really is. Okay, so you take your canoe and you get to the Mingo Lodge, and this is your home away from home, Mingo Lodge. Mingo Lodge is a Midowi owned building, and it's actually a sustainable building. And what that means is that if anything needs repairs or fixing up, they take trees that have naturally fallen in the forest or along the Napo River, and they collect that wood and then they replace it with that. So they never purposely tear down a tree just to replace it. It's all naturally occurring. And I think that's such a great part about Mingo Lodge and the work that they do, is that they're leaving the Amazon better than when they came in. So these are some examples of photos of Mingo Lodge and just how really breathtaking it is. As you can see, you're surrounded by the jungle and rainforest, and it's such a beautiful place to relax and recover from your busy days. The rooms will have bug net around each bed, and as well as a picture of the dining hall. As you can see, it's open and beautiful. You get to listen to all the sounds of the forest around you. So if you're like me, my favorite part of traveling is eating and really getting to try that local cuisine. So I just want to go over some examples of food you'll be eating while you're at Mingo Lodge. An example of a breakfast might be toast and eggs and yogurt and fruit, while lunch is usually a snack and pack as you'll be out busy during the day, so that might include some sandwiches and snacks, some fruit, and then dinner is always heartier, so lasagna, pasta, chicken, grilled vegetables. So you get that really comfort home-style food, but you're also going to have a great mix of local Amazonian cuisine that I highly suggest if you aren't a picky eater to try it. It's really a great way to really dive into the culture. If you have any dietary needs or restrictions or any allergies that you haven't let me or haven't put on your application, please let me know. That way I can let the staff know and they can be fully equipped for when you get there. Let's go over what you're going to be doing when you're in the Amazon. I want to take a moment and have you close your eyes and really think about what it would be like as a child to grow up in the Amazon. So a typical day for them used to look like waking up at 3 or 4 in the morning, usually to some rain, and starting some housework, tending to the farm and the animals, preparing breakfast, and then starting a journey, usually 2 to 3 hour walk in the dense forest to school. And this photo is actually a picture of what a local school looked like in the Amazon at the time. As you can imagine, this isn't the ideal learning environment. It's all open, the windows, there's no bug nets. As you can see at the top, someone's actually doing laundry. So this isn't the ideal situation to learn, and the dropout rate was quite high. So for many years, Midawee has been working with the local Amazon people to build schools closer to rural communities. So this is an example of a school that Midawee has built, and this is closer to those communities, so the commute that the children have to walk every day is drastically cut in half, as well as just look at the building. It's such a better learning environment. There's walls, the rooms are divided up inside, so they're all not sitting in the same room, and the dropout rate has significantly decreased once Midawee has started building these schoolhouses. While you're on your build site, or before you get to your build site, you're going to be hearing, let's join a Minga. Who wants to join a Minga? And most people don't know what that word is until they hear it. And there's actually no English translation, but what it does mean is the coming together of a community to better all. So this happens a lot in Ecuador. If somebody is building a project at home and they don't think they're going to finish it, they call for a Minga, and their neighbors and local community members come together and help them finish it to get it done on time. We do this a lot at WE with work projects and outings. We join together as Minga to help each other get their work done. And so when you're on your build site, you're going to be joining a Minga and working with the community to finish the project. I know you might be wondering, I've never hammered a nail before. How am I supposed to build a school for these kids? Well, don't worry. Everyone's going to be having the same training by a local foreman for about an hour. And he or she will teach you all the proper way to use the equipment and how to be safe on the build site. Hard hats, safety goggles, and steel toe covered shoes will be provided, so you don't have to bring that. So aside from the build sites, you're going to get to experience some traditions of the Amazon. So what that includes is traditional weapons training. And don't worry, parents, it's all done in a safe, controlled environment, shot at fruit. And some of these are blow darts or spear throwing, and you really get to see how the locals back in the day used to go and hunt and gather their food, and get a feeling if maybe you could have survived in the Amazon back then. As well as the weapons training, you're going to get to visit a local shaman, and a shaman is a natural holistic healer. So they take the environment and the energy around them and use it to heal and bring positivity to everyone around them. And it's definitely a really cool experience to be in, as not a lot of people get to visit a Amazonian shaman. As you guys are one of the first groups to go to the Amazon this summer, I'm happy to announce that there are some new exciting things happening at Minga Lodge in the Amazon. So one of the really cool things are the new frog and butterfly sanctuaries. And this is a part of Minga Lodge being a sustainable building, is that they want to leave the environment and the animals around the lodge better than when they came. So they're really helping the butterfly and frog population by working on this initiative. As well as they just installed some new monkey feeders around some new trails for you guys to explore. As well as there's a sustainable farm that local community members can visit, as well as you guys will get to visit. And as you can imagine, the Amazon gets up to 90% humidity some days, so growing local crops is quite difficult. So they teach the local community members how to do that and how to make growing your crops successful. And this is something that the community members have taken back to their home and implemented in their own farms. So someone really near and dear to our hearts is Miguel Vargas, or as we call him, Don Vargas. And I want him to introduce himself, and then we can talk a little bit about him.
Mi nombre es Miguel, ya estoy aquí en Amazonía 37 años, esperando el día que le llueva para coger agua limpia. Entonces por esa razón nosotros empezamos a coger, casi todo el mundo empezamos a coger del río Napo, pero nunca pensamos ni siquiera algo poner cloro, nada, entonces nosotros traíamos y vivíamos directamente. Llegó a enfermar a mi hija, tal vez, no sé, por eso llegó a morir, pues entonces. Eso era tristeza para nosotros y a niña de 13 años. Pero hoy nuestros hijos, digamos, y nuestros nietos están beneficiando y también nosotros estamos beneficiando nueva clínica. Para nosotros siempre es importante porque es parte de salud, es parte de nuestra vida, porque nosotros siempre queremos vivir o más tiempo o queremos vivir sanos más que todo, ¿no? Pero hoy ya tenemos muy cerca y para poder salvar nuestra vida.
So as you can see, Don Vargas's story is so inspirational. He took something negative and really sad that happened in his life and turned it into something positive. He took the tragedy of losing his young daughter and made sure that happened to nobody else in his community. So in partnership with We, Don Vargas has been working with us to make access to clean water accessible to everybody, as well as access to healthcare accessible to the people in the community. So you're going to get to meet Don Vargas and listen to his story again and ask him questions and get to see all the work he's been doing in the community. You're going to get a day in the life with him as well as with his wife in this photo, and you're going to see what it really is like to live in the Amazon and what he does every day. One of the really cool things you get to do on a Me to We trip is turning your experience into action. So like we talked about at the beginning about developing your voice as a leader, you're going to get to join in modules with your facilitators mostly every night. And this is where you're going to get to really learn about what you're passionate about. And whether that's something at home that you already had or something you saw on the ground, like after talking to Don Vargas and seeing that, you know what, access to water is something you're passionate about. You're going to get to take that issue and with your facilitator and modules, really learn how you can take that back home and turn it into action. So whether that's maybe taking a 5-minute shower instead of a 10-minute shower, or turning off the water when you brush your teeth, whatever that action is, it will have such an amazing impact on yourself and your community. And that's really one of the truly inspirational things about going on a Me to We trip. As we're wrapping up, I just wanted to let you know that you will be getting a pre and post trip survey. And this is just really for us to gather information about, are you feeling prepared for your trip? Is there anything I can support you with or do better in preparing you for your trip? As well as post survey, what are those things that you really loved and think that other people would benefit from? As well as what are some things we should change? We can only grow as an organization with this information. You'll also be entered to win a $200 Me to We gift card. So I wanted to thank you for coming and listening to this presentation about the Amazon. I hope it got you even more excited than you were before for your trip. If you have any questions or concerns, you can email me or my manager. Our emails and phone numbers are up on the screen. But otherwise, I hope you have an amazing, transformative experience in the Amazon, and I can't wait to hear all your stories and see all your incredible photos when you get back.